Alright, I literally was just trying to find a holding level for us to discuss, and as you can tell, this is on a daily chart. I'll zoom in, because just in case you're on your phone or something. Okay, so basically, you see what's going on. Um, this is a holding level. Like, what I mean by a holding level is it's protecting free space, and there's like kind of a gap here before another zone, and this is holding it up. And it held it up many times. It's been working. So what's also another example is right here. Here's a holding level. See how this is, where it's protecting free space and it's holding it up, and obviously it worked. I don't know how well, but it worked. So let's say it's a 1-to-1. Let's say it's a boom. Yeah, I would call it a 1-to-1 at most. But I'm talking about right here. This is a holding level. And you might think like, dude, wait a second. This thing broke though. It broke. And obviously it's not a picture perfect holding level. But to get on with it, basically we just go down in time frames. Like this is the 240-minute chart. And yeah, it's still the same holding level. I don't think I would move. I don't think I would move it. I don't think I would move my distal line. Maybe right there. That's my distal line. But hold up, let's go back to the daily. Where are we again? That's the holding level? Yep. Let's just, I'm pinpointing this. There you go. Let's go back to the 240-minute, 4-hour. We see that it's pinpointed there. I'm going to move it down, pinpoint it there. Wait, never mind. I'm going to start a new line as my distal line of the sniper zone. Okay. And with each time frame, it actually goes down. With each time frame, it goes down and down and down. So obviously this, what happened here on the 60-minute? This is probably the stop of the holding level. This is also not as big as free space as we wanted it. We wanted actual free space on one bar. This is multiple bars of free space. That's not actually ideal. But we're going way back with this. Okay. Okay, so obviously this is the daily holding level above here. This is where we are at. Boom. This is where we are at for a sniper area. It looks that good on the 15-minute. Can we go to the 5? Oh, what? When did we get hit? This happened recently, where it actually bounced off of our level. That was supposed to be a surprise. Well, it is a surprise to me, but I'm saying like I was gonna wait to check to see if it worked or not. Obviously it did. This is not staged, bro. I did not know if it was gonna work or not. I'm not kidding. We'll find another to prove it. I was just gonna accelerate time. Oops. What the hell was that? My damn mouse. Oh, anyways. This is probably the holding level. It's not that good in my opinion, but it still should work. By just because of this structure, it's just because this is bunched up here, and there's free space. It's bunched up, and it's actually after the break. So remember, keep in mind that this holds some value. That's the break of the low. of the day, and therefore the week or the one month, whatever we're looking at. And this is actually all sniper zone territory. All of this, man. This is totally fresh sniper zone territory. I think that's what we got to do. So coming back to the 60-minute, it's totally sniper zone territory because, first of all, holding level territory, if we escape for this for a moment, um, zoomed out, I know you can't see very well, but there's a range here. It's a range. And we want zones on the outskirts of the range. I know that these extensions of the range, the furthest part, is kind of playing off of this level, but I'm looking for the fresh level that's untouched outside of this range. So you could argue that we could take longs from the distal line on the lower time frames, right? All the way to the break of that range. Anywhere in there, we should be all right. We should be all right. But because look, because it's on the outside of the range. Now, if it was really just me and I'm just, you know, I'm nitpicking, I would break the daily. I would break the actual daily. And if it gets underneath there into my area where it's on the sniper, it's it's hanging out with the sniper boys. Um, there's orders underneath there, which I'm totally willing to nitpick. You know, I'm totally willing to nitpick. And that's what happens. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's what happened. Now, you could have gotten in early in the blue zone that I was talking about, but this particular example went to the sniper zones. Okay? It went to the sniper zones. And these zones can work, man. I tell you what. I'm just having a hard time figuring out the when I should get out of them, because I'm struggling to find out, like, let's just get out at 1-to-1. I'll take the 50-50 bet. But dude, a lot of times it busts through, but when it works, man, does it work. Like, let's say 3-to-1 here. Just 3-to-1. 3-to-1's around here, man. 3-to-1's like right here. I mean, it went way more than 3-to-1. Anyways. So, this is a huge, it's a big deal, these sniper zones. When they work, they work. But when they come back, I don't trust them one bit. I'll tell you that much for certain. Like, I do not trust them. When they come back, I do not trust. So, like, when this comes back, if it enters into this region again, it's going downwards. Like, let's just continue. Okay, let's continue. One more day in advance. Yeah, see? So when it came down, it broke, man. It did not play a part. So like the sniper zone works for a very short period of time. So, but we don't know how much it really does work. Are we gonna really take 3-to-1s? I mean, it is a small risk. Should we take 3-to-1s? I don't know. I don't know. Let's take a couple more. Let's take a couple more. That was a daily. That was a daily holding level in a way, yeah. To a 240-minute kind of holding level because it was free space, right? Um, and then all the way down to the 5-minute. We didn't go to the 3, but we went to the 5-minute of to find free space, and it really did work. It worked really well because it broke on the daily. Look, it completely broke on the daily. That daily line broke a little bit. Yep, just ever so slightly. And then on the 120 minute, I don't know what happened. Yeah, did it break this line? Mm, I don't know. It's tough to say if it broke or not. Anyways, it's a good area because it's at the it's protecting free space and it's the last stand and it's outside of the range. That's the two things we're looking for. Outside of the range, outside of trading range. Outside of trading range. Protecting free space. And then 3. I don't know. What else do we need? It's like outside of it's outside of the trading range. It's fresh. It's protecting free space. What else do we like about it? Maybe the entry, or maybe the way it comes into the level. Is it pretty extreme, pretty overextended? That's always nice. Catching a falling knife with the snipers, man. I would totally do that. That's my favorite. It's my favorite thing to do if it's really overextended. I don't know if that's our number 3 though. I would just say structure of the zone. I mean, this is good structure because the the most distal line is basically closest to the free space, and that signifies a good structure. Like, there's plenty of zones that, like this. Like, this is a zone where it comes up, and then, sorry, this is a zone where it comes up, and then it comes down, and it creates a zone and goes off. This is like a lonely pivot, bro. This is what I call a lonely pivot. Not a lonely pivot, because it's got a brother and sister over here, but I'm saying this is not the structure you want in a zone. You want a zone that you want a zone that has its distal line like this, like has its distal line closest to the body of the leg in. See that? And that signifies a better zone. So that's all my opinion. So let's just try to find another. Let's just try to find. I'm just gonna be trading here. 3 is structure. Structure of zone. And that's just candlesticks. That's just the candlesticks right there. I just want everybody to see that. There you go. Okay, let's find another holding level. I'm removing all drawing objects. Okay. I'd like another. Let's see what's happening in corn. Let's see corn. Okay, monthly. I know you won't be able to see much because it's freaking zoomed in so far. Whatever. I would never. I'm just showing this to let you see it. Anyways, this is the lonely pivot that I was talking about. Like, this is not a zone, bro. This is a lonely pivot. Lonely. We don't want to take lonely pivots. We want to take, like, this would be, I mean, I would not, this is not a holding level, but this is a good supply zone. Just because it breaks this lonely pivot, enters into the region. I might be looking at something in here. Other than that, there could be something on the demand side of this, perhaps over here, or perhaps here. Let's see what's going on here. So now, this is a monthly chart, keep in mind. Now it's the weekly. Okay, so we see that, okay, this is a holding level, right here. That is a holding level. It did not hit it. That is fresh holding level territory. And it just so happens that it is in that lonely pivot, isn't it? No, it isn't. You're right. It's not in the lonely pivot. It's the body of the lonely pivot, which is so much better. And it just did not seem to enter in. See that? It did not seem to enter into that. I'm surprised it didn't. But nonetheless, that's plotted, bro. That's plotted for sure. That's for sure plotted. We're plotting that. There's something up here too. Okay. This is good level. I'm just trying to find holding levels, okay? Just for an example of what we're gonna find. There's something down here as well, but that's far away from current price. I think like I have a lot of days. This is like October 2020. It's October 2020 what we're looking at. Okay, obviously the most recent, the pressing issues right here, that would break structure on the daily. And these zones that I was looking at are actually called off. Basically, these are not that good. This is not that good. Like, this is a holding level. Don't get me wrong, bro. This is a holding level right here. But, like when I said structure, this is not the structure we want. Why? Because it's literally a box. Like, first of all, it doesn't look fresh. Like, this looks fresh. See how this looks good? This looks fresh because it's outside of a trading range. It's fresh. It's new. It's just new orders right here. It's new orders. These are orders that piling in. These are orders that are flying back and forth. And it was not a distinctive line right here, right next to the big move up. It was not protected well because it actually let it protrude out of it. You might think this is so small, but it matters a lot, especially and it forms red. Not like that's bad too. And it comes up, down, you know. These pivots are not held tightly. It's not a tight holding level. So it is in a good location. That's the only thing it has going for it. Like, the location is all right. Breaking that, the location is good because it's protecting free space. That's a check mark for sure. And it's outside of this range. It breaks. Like, there's a leg out and there's a leg in. That makes it good. It's in that midsection. But the structure is not there. We wouldn't take it. Now, moving on. We're going to mark it down though. We're going to see if people take this, you know. But this is definitely something. This is definitely something we would look after. So if you see it in the grand scheme of things, you see like people are like, oh well, this is demand, right? Comes up from here, right? Well, underneath it, where these people are buying right here, these people are buying here, there's people are buying this whole thing right here. That's when people are buying. Um, Alice,
Hey,
can I call you back, please?
yes.
Sorry.
Yep. Bye.
See ya. So, um, yeah, that's the structure we want. And this is structured better because yeah, it holds this thing pretty tight. And the the distal line is actually closest to the leg in. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. That's interesting right here. It's interesting right here. Would be our area. We would consider this little area right here because I think there is orders up here. Right after it breaks that, I think there's orders in there, but we'd wait for the consolidation. Look at the consolidation. You know, um, here's where it's consolidating. It booms upwards, comes down. It didn't get into this consolidation again. That's That's good. That's a good sign. So, um, yeah, going back to here, there's probably some orders sitting at here because I'm just looking at protecting free space right now. That's all I'm thinking about. Here's definitely some orders. Okay. Um, as far as this blue line goes, and blue zones go, this is just general. I would tell you if I'm taking a trade or not. Right now I'm looking at this distal line. I'm looking at a break of structure here on the daily. If this green bar were to come all the way up and break on the same bar, break upwards, or like in the next bar, break this distal line, we're gonna be looking at holding levels above this. Yeah, we're gonna be looking right here. We're gonna be looking right here. This is a holding level, not a sniper zone. This is the sniper zone right here. So watch this. 60-minute. Okay, this is interesting now. And my notice how every time frame I go down, my distal line is moving more up, more away. Um, I would narrow down here just to include these wicks. This is now a holding level. As far as the daily goes, I would include this whole thing because the daily gets beaten. This is the daily zone, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal right here. Remember on the daily chart, look at this. It breaks that. It's going to come right into demand. Right into, or my bad, right into supply. And this is where heavy sellers are sitting. Um, if I were to separate this, here are people selling, and above here, people are definitely selling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Would I go down to more? No. Corn, look at the 15-minute chart. I mean, this is not. I wouldn't look at the 15-minute that much. Well, just kidding, because that actually helped me on the pivot. But more than that, it's just nothing. Here, this like makes me mad, kind of, because I just want it to be free space to protect. Because this zone actually does disqualify this somewhat, because if it were to break upwards and wick me out, it would come right into this zone and fall away from me, and I would be on that trade. The only problem is, oh, that is such a problem. That's such a bummer that this zone is here, because if it was just free space, life would be good, man. Life would be good. The 240 minute, I cannot see that. The 240 minute, the next zone is up here. The daily, the next zone is where? Yeah, the next zone is up there with the 240 minute. The 120 minute, the next zone is up there. Good. There is a problem here, just like we said. There is a problem. The 60 minute, um, there's issues here. There's issues. I'll just tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take this with normal size. Normal size. I'm gonna take this zone. But if it comes up to here, man, that's a problem. That's a problem, bro. I don't like it. I'm just gonna ignore it. Because you can't have perfection. I'm just trying to keep it perfect, bro. I am. I really am. But the 240 minute includes this last wick. I don't think the next split is gonna matter. Oops. There you go. That is my entry. Now, here's the deal: is taking the this is the holding level right here. But the distal line I really have to have all the way up here. I don't take anything less. Now, because this is a holding level and not a sniper zone, because a sniper zone would be in addition to this line. So this thick line, a sniper zone would be right on the outskirts of it. And this thick line is kind of a lonely pivot, like we were talking about. This is a lonely pivot. It's not really connected with this. This is separate than this. So that's why I'm taking the holding level and not a sniper zone. It's not. This is a holding level. This whole thing. Whatever you include in here, that's a holding level. There is no sniper zone to choose from on this particular thing because um, because this daily line is not. It's lonely. It's a lone pivot. It's a lone pivot, man. So this is a great opportunity to go short. I don't know if it'll come up. I don't know if this has created the high. I don't know. Looks to be an uptrend. But we're gonna skip ahead on these days and see what's going on. I hope that it enters into there. I'm taking this whole region, this whole freaking zone. I'm taking with pretty heavy size, and we're gonna take it 1-to-1. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, this whole thing. We're gonna take this thing 1-to-1. Yep. Um, I would like to just take the sniper zone, but dude, not the sniper zone. My bad. Just the upper region. You know what I was looking at, where I really want to heavy sellers are sitting. But maybe in a strategy far off in a different land, I will look at I'll look at adding size to a losing trade, uh, just so I can actually see, you know, add size to a losing trade, which sucks, but you know, I just want to actually get into that upper region of the zone even more. If it goes into there, I would add size, but that's kind of disqualified. Okay, see what's going on. If it wants to exit downwards, I guess we can examine what's going on here right before this crappy holding level. I'm gonna, I guess, because if it wants to go downwards, we're gonna have to look at that. If it breaks these lines, it's coming down. Oh, it's sitting in a holding level actually. Look, look at where it's sitting. Not the case. Never mind. Never mind. It is a good demand zone though. It is like a holding level, dude. Because look, it's on the outskirts of this range. See this lonely pivot? Lonely pivot. Lonely pivot. Demand. And then it comes into this demand. The only problem is it's not protecting free space. It's really not. It's not protecting free space. On the 240 it kind of looks like it is, but it's really not. But nonetheless, it's a good zone. And the only zone I would take is it past this lonely pivot right here, past it. So underneath there, see, underneath there was good buying. There's only wicks underneath there. That's where we would be buying. We want to be outside the range, and we'll be patient, and we're snipers. Yeah, outside of this range, see this range? In the range that's created, if it breaks downwards, there is going to be issues here. Oh, did I make blue there? I think the issues start here. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of highlighted that already. Yeah, there's issues there. Does this protect enough free space? This is our last check, going way down to the 60-minute. Does this protect free space? And the answer is yeah, but it's not the structure we want. It's for sure not the structure. On the 240, yeah, that's not the structure we want. Although I think that this zone will work. Oops. I actually think that this zone will work because whenever I see this, where it's kind of a, oops, we can have it pretty narrow, really narrow. I'm not gonna lie, it's really narrow. Whenever I see that screen and then it goes actually prints downwards and it completely U-turns, um, I see that this is a pinpoint zone. Like I would actually, like sometimes it goes literally to the same exact line. It is a holding line, not a holding zone. I don't know why I don't like them, but they often work right on that line, so you can actually limit the risk. Probably down to here, you can actually limit the risk pretty much to that line, to this zone here, just based on the 240-minute chart. What? What the heck happened? Whatever. Yeah, so that's basically the move on the bottom. I don't think that's a holding level. Not in my book, man. Not in my opinion, at least. This is definitely a good zone, though. Yeah, it's bouncing off of it right now. I would draw it right here, just like this. And I like the structure just because there's a solid green bar. It comes down, makes the distal line on the bottom closest to the leg in, and it bases and it rolls out of here. That's important. This right here is good as well. Right here, very small risk. Very small risk. I would take it all the way up to there, and then I would probably take it all the way from here. Yeah, I would, because it's so close to this whole thing, I would include this entire zone. Just from this alone, I'm now interested in longing here. I would like to go back to the 60 and just see what I'm looking at on the 60, and that is a rally-based rally, and that's a holding level right here. This is most definitely a holding level, dude. It's not ideal, especially on this 15-minute chart on this market is just so weird looking, but it's definitely um, protecting free space. It is. Um, I mean, the two areas where orders are, it's going to be right at this wick and then here. So you can just delete the distal line right now. This is where orders start. On the breach of these zones, the orders start. Here's where the orders really kick in, and then down here is also where they are waiting for a pinpoint level. Okay, for now, for now, dude, let's just look at the daily and let's advance time. I hope, please don't base this whole time, dude. I don't know, man. Please don't base though. I'm going to 3. There we go. Oh, dang it. I wanted this candle to actually beat out this entire pivot to be like overextended right into my holding level. But at this point, I'm still gonna be short here, this whole zone. Yeah, I would suspect it's coming down, but then I don't think it's gonna break that. We'll see. Boom, there we go. Okay, we've got some action. Finally some action, boys. Now, let's see exactly where this thing landed. This is interesting. So it lands actually at that pinpoint line here, really before the holding level begins. Yeah, so, um, yeah. So, like I said, this highlighted region, a little brighter color, is where sellers are, and that's what happened. But also in here, sellers are too. Obviously, in this entire zone, sellers are here, but I'm just saying minute detail. This is where sellers are, and this is where sellers are, and that's what happened on this day. I would want some more action downwards, and I don't know why. Well, 1320. That means this market's open 8:30 to 1:20. I think it is open at night as well. Yeah, it's open at night. from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock onwards, 8 o'clock at night all the way till market open, and then 1:20 it closes, 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, so 8:30 really is when it starts kicking off. Yeah, see this? Big moves on 8:30. So, anyways, let's continue down. Let's continue it. I think it's 1-to-1, remember? Where's our target? Right here? Target's here. Oh, what? My bad. Oh, that's bright. Okay, so that's our target. Now you kind of see where we're going at. You kind of see the picture forming, right? Like it broke this line. It's looking upwards. It really is looking upwards. Um, we wanted this whole thing to breach, but we didn't have that. But this is still an eccentric candle. It's pretty rowdy, I would say. You know, it's an exciting candle. It's pretty big. So we'll see. Boom. Now that got destroyed. Okay. So let's look at what happened. Okay. So intraday. Remember that broke downwards. Um, it did not get to my target, but that specifically is where sellers were, right? On the 60-minute, it went up more, booms downwards from this line here. Yeah, this is where sellers are. The sellers are there. The sellers are there, and they got toasted. So here it goes upwards. Oh my gosh, remember the zone we were talking about? It freaking worked. It worked. Unbelievable. That gosh darn zone, you know, like this guy. I did not like this guy. Why is he here? He's on the outside of my holding level. He's on the outside of that. He's really a holding level, man. Like that's nuts, dude. Ended up working somehow. Oh, based on the 15. Yeah, this ended up working. Look at that. It's not even a good zone, but its location is really good. Outside of my holding level. This right here would be sniper zone above here. Kind of, sniper zone of my holding level. Got toasted, bro. Got toasted. Dang, that sucks. It got wrecked. Yeah, got wrecked. So yeah, that's what's going on. Boom. Boom. Comes down and actually uses this as demand. Pushes off of it. See you later, bud. See you later, bud. Oh man, that was money too. That was money. We gotta really hang out on this hourly chart with the corn. And this is now broken. The whole trade is done. We just lost. Recalibrate. Just like that. The range here, I see demand right here. Um, I see demand here. Because the range here is creating something, it's creating like kind of like a holding line right there, kind of a lone pivot right there. And perhaps right here is going to be some demand on the smaller time frame. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Yeah, right here. This is sniper zone right here. This is sniper zone. Oops. It is because it is protecting somewhat of a free space. This is the holding level. Now we can actually identify this. This holding level. I would like this candle not to be red and this candle to be this distal line. But as far as we know, that is the holding level. That's really good. Higher time frame really is what is going to be important here. And we notice that it is a sniper zone because we see that on the 240 minute, it actually breaks its distal line here. It breaks that distal line and it's going downwards. It breaks that structure. What if it broke that today or like this bar or whatever on a strong higher time frame bar, meaning it's gone over its ATR. It breaks it. It's like it's broken this, remember, and it's like, wow, people are really going downwards. It just broke the low. Well, the sniper zone can help some people, man. I'll take a 1 to 1.5 with this. Just sniper zones because they're small. You can actually increase. Yeah, I'm probably here. I always go that way. Okay. Basically, 1 to 1.5 is totally fine with me. I would appreciate a 1 to 1, but a 1 to 1.5 is totally good with me. That would tell me it totally worked. 1 to 1.5. Now, if that busts through, we're taking this holding level as well. This is not that good of a holding level, but it is a great location and the structure is sound enough. It's just barely sound enough. At this point, we're going to look for distal lines on this holding level, the blue holding level. It looks to be one holding line. I have not gone down to the 5 minute yet on this stuff, so it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna include this. It's way too much risk to find all the way over here. Like, how does that look on the chart? You know, that's a really far risk. All the way to these lows as well. Like, I'm not interested. I'm interested in just that same one. But it's just like last time, there is not 100% free space. I am concerned on this holding level though, is just because, yeah, it's a great holding level, I'm not gonna lie, especially if it comes there on a, so like this is the 240 minute, if it's a 240 minute above and beyond its ATR, like the next bar comes all the way out here, yeah, I'd take it. But the stops are actually right next to these lows, and I found that wherever the lowest point is, these are two equal lows, but I'm saying if there was a strong move downwards, that the pivot that sent it that way actually works on the other side. So in this case, I'm thinking that it's this one, and that's just where I'm gonna get out. But that's where I actually think there will be orders sitting. And if I really want to narrow it down, I'll take that pinpoint and bring it down to the 5, sure. And yeah, it sits right at this demand zone. So this, oops, sadly, it really is sad that this is a zone. It is a zone. So that's a problem. It really is. But the solution, I don't want to take on that additional risk, but we have to, man. Since last time, we have to. Because now we just have to take with less contracts, you know? We're just going to risk the same amount of money, but it's just, it has to go so much further to accomplish what I'm trying to do here. Like, it has to go all the way up. Whereas my other target could be, you know, without this. Oops. My other target would be right here. Just like that. My other target would be here at that actual target that I just created for the sniper zone. That's how I'd take it. I'm just going to delete this and that is a nice location for my stop. But we're risking a certain amount of money here, you know? We can't have like, oh, it kind of looks there. Like if we want a true one-to-one, you can't be taking this entire zone. But just as a check all the way down on the 15 minute, where's my distal line? It's right here. Okay, let's do it. Let's see it happen. I'm a one-to-one on this and a one-to-one on my sniper zone. Let's see where the sniper zone does first. Okay. Let's see what the sniper zone does. Okay, so what happened here, boys? So let's go to a 60. Remember my sniper zone? It actually broke, didn't it? Look at this. What happened here? So we found our zone, right? That worked great. It would be. I'm surprised that it, I'm really surprised that it did not work. How did it? So this time it broke the distal line, right? It broke the distal line and dipped into here. What's there? This must not be a tight market? No, no, no. The market's always right. The market's always right. But it broke that and it did not enter into here. Now it entered into there. Now it's in there. But this should have worked. I'm surprised. Let's go to a 5 freaking minute, huh? Yeah, that should have worked. It did not. It went all the way down to here. The top of this zone, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Oh, that one didn't work. We're breaking it down to a science, but it's not working right now. Okay, on the outside of this region, here's something. Yeah, no, never mind. We take the whole thing. Take that. And that doesn't look anything else. I was looking at this area, but it doesn't look all that good. 5 minute, I can't even stay on the 5 minute right now. I don't understand the chart of 5 minutes. Okay, 60 minute, let's see what happens. Must be a weekend. Should be Monday now. Okay, so what on earth happened, boys? What on earth happened here? Okay, so this zone got beaten. 5 minute underneath got beaten. 5 minute underneath worked though. Wow. Okay, so the 5 minute underneath really did work if you actually look at it. Where it broke here, right here. See this? The 5 minute underneath that I was talking about, it broke right under here, 410, and it worked. It worked really well. It really did. Um, as far as we know, the holding level did not work. It did not bounce off those. Huh. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't know why. Hmm. Usually works. Something like that would work, especially on the outside of the range. I'm surprised. I'm not. I'm very surprised. Not gonna lie. So we're out some guala right now. We're out some guala. Let's keep it rolling. At this point, there's not really any. I mean, there's supply and demand zones. Here's a demand zone. Here's a demand zone. That's probably something. No, it's not. Here is a supply zone. Here's a supply zone. Head to the daily one more time. Up here is good. Down here is good. Here's something. Let's just leave it roll on the daily now. See if it creates some zones for us. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I skipped 2 days, but I didn't think that 2 days would do that much. But okay, so it comes up to here, test this, comes down, huge bar upwards. That's what I like. I want a super strong bar and surpasses stuff like this. It's in price discovery mode. I think I actually did this on the weekly or the monthly. Yeah, remember this? Lonely pivot. I remember this now. Okay. Weekly. Yeah, the holding level on the weekly. See that? And it worked. It worked fantastic, dude. It really did. Would I do a 1-to-1? Yeah, 1-to-1. But now that we're risking, now that we lost two, maybe when we catch one like this, it actually works for a lot longer than we thought, you know? Perhaps. So let's see this thing roll. This next day is going to be interesting. Big day downwards. Okay. So at this point, um, this was a holding level for sure. Yeah, this is going to be an issue here. Down here maybe, and then down here, yeah. But nothing else. These aren't issues here. These are not issues. Um, the 60-minute, yeah, it makes a sniper zone for sure. So this is the distal line, as you can see on the 240. Yeah. And now we go lower and lower and lower, and we're gonna find a sniper zone here. Yep. So just because we find a sniper zone doesn't mean it works. I'm just saying that it is somewhere that, like, risk reward wise, I think that it's a really good area. Definitely. It's protected free space for sure. Sorry, going on to the 5-minute. Yeah, that's definitely the pivot. So let's see what happens. Yeah, it's bouncing off supply, going to demand. It's probably going to come down to here. I would suspect this is where the real buyers are. I remember looking at this, remember? So I don't know about that. Weekend or something. Skip ahead. Okay. So it's actually heading to my sniper zone right now. I'm totally taking it still. I'm taking it for a 2-to-1. For the sake of time, let's just go here. Whatever. 2-to-1. See what happens. If it blows past, it blows past. Whatever. Okay, it definitely blew past. No chance. Not even a lick of chance here. Actually, a small lick was there. It's like no care in the world, huh? Sniper zones do not work in this market, boys. Huh. Looks to be really bullish, though. Looks to be bullish, boys. Looks to be bullish. It's entering in my weekly holding level again. Yeah, at this point it's going up. So, um, how do we get in? I would argue that this is where the next supply is, because it's about to blow past ours. Demand's here. Um, Here's some demand. Here's demand. Here's demand. Yeah, overall it looks like shit. Yeah, this demand sucks, dude. This is interesting. I'd probably take this. Yeah, I'd probably take it. Even though structure's not that good. Yeah, when it breaks, it's what is it? It's gonna be right into demand. What else can we do about this? This is not that good. This is not that good, but it is definitely a zone for sure. I think that this thing is way more related to higher time frames. So I shouldn't even go to 60-minute. But overall, that's a good zone. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's protecting free space on the higher time frame at least. Perhaps on the smaller time frame, yeah, it is. Structure's not that good on the smaller time frame, but it's good on the day or the zoomed out time frame. I'd argue that's not a holding level anymore. This is a good zone. Yeah, this is gonna be like all buyers right here. But I would really only buy down here. Just like that. Okay, let's see it. Can we get in anywhere? No, right here is the only place. Because I do think if it retests my holding level, it's going to break through it. So, that was a holding level. Okay, so keeps on going. Let's keep advancing. Oops. Wow, it does not want to break my zone, huh? Yeah, if it breaks this low, it's sending short. If it breaks this low, it's sending short right into my demand, and it could surpass it. Could probably just come to right here, but I'm still taking it. Okay, yeah, it's off the Never Never Land. This thing's sending. Look at the weekly. Yeah, it's sending, bro. Give it 2 days. What? This thing. This thing. Why could you not pass it? Really? You were just blocked off by this freaking mean level, bro. Blocked. That's crazy. Oh. Dang it. Almost indoor zone. Really close. Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. Does this make sense to you? Why does this make sense to anybody? Filled gap? So strange, dude. So strange. Whatever. Let's continue. We're doing a couple days at a time now. Okay. So, banged upwards. It's in supply though. But it closes in supply, which makes people not want to buy it. It's sending. Wow. 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 The holding level retest. The oldest trick in the book. So, holding level retest is basically it works initially, and then you narrow down the zone to what was only tested what was not tested, right? What was not tested. So basically, this was not tested, and we take it, and it works. But then, say this was still not tested. Now we take it again and again and again until it's done. But we take it with 25% each time it retests. The initial one we take with 100%, and it's a big zone. But the next ones we take smaller. Boom, small. So yeah, this is demand right here. Okay, sorry. Let's keep going. Couple days in advance. 12, 10. Wow, look at that range, just ranging for the winter. 18. Okay, there we go. This thing's blasting. Okay. Yeah, it's about to blast off. Where's the next scoop? Up here. Up here. And then up here. Wow, it breaks the lonely pivot. We're in a price discovery mode. Breaks that pivot. We don't know where we are at the moment. That's what people are like. Like, it breaks that pivot. We don't know where the hell we are. Yeah. Oh, dang it. At this point, we're in historical data, so it's gonna be tough because, dude, this is at sea. It should be like unadjusted price. Oh my gosh, we've been doing this all on a not continuous contract one where it's like not really the actual price at that certain point. Whatever, let's keep going. I mean, let's switch right now. Let's switch just right this second. See what happens. I don't know the contracts with corn, so I'm just seeing what's going on. Okay, so obviously, oh, wow, price looks a ton different, dude. What? Is this the same chart, dude? What? Dude, this is so, so different. Where's that lonely pivot that we were talking about? The hell? This makes no sense, bro. Flustered. Whatever. This is holding level. Definitely holding level right here. This is good area. See, it breaks that pivot. See, it breaks this lonely pivot into a place of demand. This one, this is a lonely pivot into a place of demand, but the demand's not that good. I can tell from way out in these time frames, not too well, but I'd just like to look at the daily if we're looking into here. Yeah, this is the place to be. Oh, remember this. It looks the same. It's a great location, weird zone. Good. Yeah. As far as we know, this is the definition of an uptrend. Demand, demand, demand. There's a lot of demand here. It'd be nice to be a buyer at this point. Sellers are hanging out here, up here. I don't know what's past that. Um, Hopefully the daily drops me there. I know this is getting a bit long, so I'm gonna try to exit this soon. I'm just showing you where I'm just trying to show you the holding level here. Almost done. Relax. Dang it. Wow. Gotta go way back, bro. Okay. Okay. This is obviously the holding level that I was talking about. This is definitely a line that we're talking about. Definitely short there. Definitely shorten up here. Okay. Anything above these lines. That's that's a good area. That's a very good area. Okay, so I'm right now shorting up here in between these lines and then at this line here. Um, sure, I'll make it the full zone, right? Just like that. Then there was something here, I just want to see if it bounced from there. Fast forward, see what happened. The holding level, it did try it here. This is definitely a retracement from it. This is definitely a retracement from it. This holding level it did have stamina, it did have energy. It totally worked a little bit, at least. Yeah, right here. It definitely worked. I'd argue that I'd start the zone right there. See what happens. Yeah, it worked. Generally speaking, it definitely worked. At least 1 to 1.5. Because it's a good zone. It protects free space, man. Yeah, and then it tried. So now it's breaking its price discovery mode right up to here. So now let's see what happens to my zones here. Here, and then in between here. Finally, we're entering into the month that we are actually in. Oh boy. What? Oh, my bad. Didn't change the year. Wow. It got destroyed. But it did work. This one worked for sure. This one for sure worked. I would just argue that it's worked 1 to 1 tops. 1 to 1 is max. This one, yeah, obviously broke. Obviously broke, bro. So this one worked 1 to 1. This one got destroyed completely. Used it as demand. Boom. Wow. Where the hell is this thing going nowadays? This is a great zone up here. Good location. Does it look nice? Yeah. I'm wondering if there's anything above this line. Because if there is, that's extreme sniper zone territory, boys. Let's look at the daily. Let's check this out real quick. Then we're almost done. What? Is this the same freaking thing that I'm looking at? Am I looking at the same thing? No, I'm looking up here, thank you. Oh wow. I was looking at, oh, maybe there's a sniper zone above here, you know, but no, there's a holding level, bro. There's an entire holding level up here. Really, we should call these sniper zones too, though, to be honest with you, because this is the definition of a sniper in the grass, bro. A straight up sniper in the grass. Because no one sees this. I mean, people see it, but like the weekly chart does not see that at all. They see this. I'm not taking this because it is in a good location. It's a great, scratch that, great location. But this is a lonely pivot, and I don't take lonely pivots, even though this is a pinpoint pivot. This can work. Just that pivot can work. Watch. We'll see. We'll zoom ahead, see what happens. But um, this is the area I would take on that zone. Okay. It has a lot of room to run, so I don't think we're gonna be able to find it. It's the 29th, so let's skip ahead to the 15th. Oh my gosh, we're in. We're in. Wow. Wow. So we're into this zone. I'm not taking the whole pinpoint thing, the whole zone. I would like to take that area. Remember what I just showed you. And it did work. It definitely worked. My definition of working is did it work 1-to-1? That's working in my book. So 1-to-1. Yeah, it worked 1-to-1. But something tells me that this uptrend's still continuing. And if that's the point, I'm just going to set my stop right here if I would still be in the trade. As far as I'm concerned, this week was over exaggerated. I think it can go downwards. I think it can come down to here. And if that's the case, and it breaks this pivot right here, just so we can know what we're talking about, comes down, breaks this pivot, breaks this demand pivot, we're like, oh, what's going to happen? Yeah, right here is demand. This is I don't know what I would call demand. I think it's just holding level. Yeah, holding level. Because we can't deny that um, I can't cut out the reason why this is such a big zone. It's just I can't cut out what happened. What's happened here? Okay, I'm lost. Daily. I'm looking right at here. Right there. And on the weekly, yeah, that's that bottom pivot. Why does it not show up on this? Sorry, I'm just gonna have to do this. My apologies. That's why I couldn't see where I am. Didn't count. So we've got something here. It's good zones. Yeah, but my stop is not in a good spot because this is a good area as well. It's a great area. Yeah, that's a fantastic area on the 60-minute. Right there. That's fantastic because it's a holding level. It's protecting free space. It's breaking. It breaks a lonely pivot. It breaks that and enters into good area. Um, yeah, maybe this area. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. If it comes up to here, oops. Yeah, sorry, 10 years. If it comes to, wow, this is so far away. Yeah, if it comes into here, into here, we're totally short. This point, I'm not gonna include that, but into here, I'm in short for sure. But look at what is going on here. It's a fantastic area to short because so much range has happened here, and this pivot right here is so massively important because this is the lonely pivot and it breaks it. It's like, holy crap, we are in going up and like we're in price discovery mode and we're just searching for that supply zone. And this is sitting in a great location, in my opinion, because that great holding level right above it, kind of like a sniper zone. We should flip and just call them different things. I don't know, but either way, it's a zone, and I'd take that whole freaking thing if I was really a swing trader. But um, yeah, I think it's just chilling there. So let's see what happens. Zoom out to today. Coming all the way to today. Before I enter, I would take this. Yes, I would take it. It's not the best looking zone, so I would only take what I have selected, and that is working. But I didn't say that before I saw it hit it. So I will take this upper region, but I'm not taking. I would get rid of it if it breaks the high of this same bar right now. So I would go into this region though. So let's send it. What? Really? It actually. Yeah, what's going on here? Okay, so it worked. Boom! It worked really well. It worked really, really well. This zone worked fantastic, dude. This thing drive downwards, and I mean, it went. This is a 1-to-1 if I'm taking the whole zone, which I wouldn't. And it definitely beat a 1-to-1. It went beat a 1-to-1. So, yeah, totally. Totally, dude. This thing's great. Just above this. This is a good area. I'd like this area. That's the actual part I want. And that's what happened. Boom, it worked. Fantastic. Now it's actually heading into a supply zone. I would set up something on the corn for sure. Right here. I'd set up some because it's hidden. It's totally hidden. Past this region. I'm into that. I'm into that. Um, so if it reaches there this month for sure, I'm in. But it's got it's got no days left, so that's it. It's starting a new month, but I'd like to see it. We'll see. Thanks for watching. This is a lot, really long, so sorry about that. But it might give you a better understanding of where I'm at. Peace.